Prime Minister Rishi Sunak is up in front of the Liaison Committee, which is the body of chairs of select committees. They're going to be questioning him. They've sort of grouped the questions into global affairs, economic issues, COP28 and energy concerns.
Well, the COP28 section should certainly be interesting. But these sessions that started with Tony Blair way back in the day, so they've been going for nearly 10 years now, these sessions have very seldom really delivered. There's always the expectation that one day there's going to be a gotcha moment where a sort of beaten Prime Minister, bruised and battered, sort of sits back in his chair and says, it's a fair cop, society's to blame, I'm going to resign immediately. That's never happened. Most Prime Ministers, I think, are pretty capable of fighting their corner in the kind of inquisition that they get at the Liaison Committee. And the Liaison Committee members themselves say, but stop looking for a gotcha moment. This is about scrutiny. It's not intended as a sort of melodrama.
Yeah.
But there have, of course, been some remarkable occasions. I mean, the surreal session when Boris Johnson, on pretty much the last day of his premiership, was answering questions about his policy when the dogs in the street knew that he was going to be out in a matter of hours. That was a very, very strange session. So just occasionally there's something there. And maybe one day there will be a day when a Prime Minister is absolutely in the eye of a storm and his back's to the wall, to mix my metaphors furiously. And those sessions will be really, really high drama. But it hasn't really happened yet.
No, one of the issues is, I think, the structure, because you've got, there's a lot of select committees, the chairs all want their say, they all want their opportunity. So they don't focus on one particular angle, and once they've sort of, got him on the ropes, it's then okay, they're switching to the next person in the queue for answering questions. Yeah. Whereas having just maybe one or two members asking the questions would allow to keep the pressure on him.
They have actually managed to sharpen up the sessions quite a bit by deciding a bit more rigorously on the subjects, to be honest.
Still quite a lot of them asking.
I'm still traumatised by the time when Tony Blair was in front of the committee and each of the select committee members, and this was all select committees at that stage, not a selection of them, got the chance to ask a question. And so you had some rigorous political controversy. And then it was the turn of a Tory MP called David Tredinnick, who chaired the catering select committee, who was known to be a complete obsessive about homeopathic medicine. And Tony Blair was suddenly fielding questions about homeopathy with that wonderful sort of slightly quizzical corner of the lip curl that he would do on occasions when he thought that the questions were actually a bit off-piste. That kind of thing doesn't happen anymore. They're much more rigorous about it these days. But even so, as you say, sometimes the Buggins-turn system of questioning means that just when you think you're getting somewhere, it's time for someone else to have their moment.